Sean, I think this is a really interesting matchup. Judy being a little bit more experienced than Erica, and certainly a big situation here. If their teammate Lily Zhang can win in the finals of this particular phase, the U.S. will get the team event, which means the winner of this match will be the third spot for the United States for that team event.
So we're in a very unique situation here to where they're playing a placement match, but really in many ways this is their own final Olympic slot competition. Two teammates, they both represented the United States at the Dortmund World Championships that just concluded. Somewhat contrasting styles. Why don't you talk about really what Judy and both Erica are looking to do in this match?
Sean, I think this matchup really comes down to the spin of Judy Hugh against the speed of Erica Wu. Erica is going to want to get into really long, speedy rallies against Judy. She's going to be looking to be not necessarily passive, but a little bit more defensive, getting balls back very quickly. And Judy's going to be using a more attacking spin game.
And here we have some of the stats on Judy. As you can see, she's been a long-time member of the U.S. national team, as well as a perennial doubles contender, winning both the women's doubles and the mixed doubles with her brother Adam. As we mentioned during the introductions, she's often referred to as one of the members of the first family of table tennis, along with mother Lily Yip, a two-time Olympian in 1992 and 96, as well as a very strong father with Barry Detel, winning many state and national titles in the age division. So clearly we have a super matchup here, kind of the old guard, new guard. Judy's also a recent graduate of Rutgers University, and she is basically, I guess, working full-time at the Lily Yip Training Center along with her mom to help create the next generation of champions.
Sean, I think it's important for a young player like Erica Wu to come out really strong out of the gates so that the pressure of the occasion doesn't get to her early.
And here are some stats and facts on Erica. Again, these players need help from a teammate, Lily Zhang, to win the finals of the tournament to allow the U.S. to get that third team spot. Ball catches the edge of the table for the first point to Judy. Han, both these players had some difficulty when they played against Chris Xu, a chopper, early in this competition. Luckily, though, they don't have to face any more heavy chops or no-spin balls, as both are very fast offensive players.
There you see the strength of both players there. We should see a lot of exciting topspin rallies in this match.
A wonderful reloop there by Judy. Now, Erica's first ball isn't generally that heavy with spin, and it seems like if Judy can actually turn the corner and put her forehand into play, she should have an opportunity to attack on her own pace.
There's Erica's strength, really good at turning defense into offense.
It almost appears that if Judy can place that first ball and make Erica block and not attack it, she'll be in good shape.
There's great placement from Judy on that point. Really moving Erica from side to side, especially stretching her out to the wide forehand first.
You know, as we talk about the different tactical things that must happen, one of the interesting things with Judy is one of Erica's two coaches, Jun Gao, pulled out at the last second, which allowed Judy to be here at the tryouts as the first alternate. So in some ways, luck has been on Judy's side to get that final chance to be here, and now she has the opportunity with this match and a little help from a friend, that being Lily Zhang, to possibly earn a ticket to London.
going to see some of this from both players. Judy jumping out to an 8-3 lead in this first game, but both players are going to be using that first spin to set up the rest of the point.
And Han, would you say that Judy's going to favor one side more than the other for that opening ball?
Judy's definitely much more comfortable off the backhand side to open off of any underspin balls. There you see those strong backhands from Judy. Erica's going to need to bring Judy out of her comfort zone, which means taking the ball with better timing.
Really looks like they're playing on Judy's rhythm much more than Erica, which we've seen through prior matches, especially when they played in the first Olympic phase down here in Cary, where Erica won that particular match. Again, very difficult for Erica to get any rhythm off that heavy topspin. It really is not coming out. It kind of sits there and then drops, having the bottom come out of it. Oh, just a tremendous play. Judy taking first game with a fury of backhand loops and forehand loops from the backcourt, really starting this match exactly how she needs to by controlling that amount of topspin on the ball.
You're absolutely right, Sean, there. I think really Erica's playing at Judy's pace, and Judy wants to play at this sort of slower tempo and really using heavy topspin on every ball. And Erica's really being a little bit too passive. And what's interesting is that although Erica wants to play at a faster pace, she needs to set it up by doing some off-speed stuff early in the point. Judy really feeds off of the early pace in the point, and she's able to set up that strong topspin, but sometimes she can have trouble against an off-speed service return or something like that.
Now Judy looks like she's ready, and clearly the experience of being on a number of world team, winning national titles, and being really up until the last 20 years the most prolific junior female star that we've had. Now we've seen a kind of a raising of the bar with Ariel, Shing, Lily, Zhang, and Erica. But again, it's kind of the old guard versus the new guard, and the old guard still has some game. Again, that heavy topspin is really handcuffing Erica. Really unable to get a good timing positional block off of that.
At 22 years old, Judy certainly with the right amount of experience and still not particularly too old for the sport of table tennis either. Erica needs to settle down early. As I said, I think she needs to get a strong start out of the gates. We saw some nerves in the previous game. See if she can settle down here in the second game.
It would almost seem that if she could maybe flip a little bit more of these serve and serve returns, she could get into these fast-paced rallies and not let Judy get that heavy topspin, which so far has been so problematic in keeping the ball down.
And Judy needs to remain patient throughout the match because Erica's going to get balls back.
Such a natural rhythm to these players where Judy does like to slow things down some. And Erica just wants to speed it up at the first opportunity. We have standing room only here, the Bond Community Center in Cary, North Carolina. We've had both the U.S. phase and now the North American phase of the Olympic tryouts at this venue. Oh, wonderful recovery there by Judy.
That's the second time already this match where Erica seems like she's had a flip kill and she's just a little bit too predictable on that particular shot. Judy blocking another one for a winner.
Beautiful play by Erica Wu, hanging in there from the defensive front and then finally finding an opening to outposition Judy. And there's the handcuffing backhand loop of Judy down the line, or actually into the middle. It's really giving Erica fits right now. Judy a bit aggressive there on the serve return, really mixing it up nicely, both using a heavy underspin push as well as flips to keep Erica off balance.
Erica there getting a good forehand loop in. Looked like Judy was in control of the point, but Erica again turning her blocks into some offense.
Han, it really looks like Erica has stepped up her forehand loop recently. Before she used to only counter on the forehand, now she's really getting a lot more topspin on that side, which seems to have added a new dimension to her game.
What I would like to see from Erica is she has developed that forehand loop, but they're still missing somewhat of a killer shot or a killer instinct. She's still relying on a lot of blocking to win points here with a 1-point lead.
And that's one thing that Judy really has possessed with that kind of the backhand heavy topspin and also her forehand smash. She has a way of getting the ball through the opponent versus only playing off of their tempo. Very strong placement there by Erica. Able to get it to Judy's elbow area. Very difficult for a topspin player to transition from one side to the other.
A little fortunate there, Judy. Bringing the deficit to 7-9. That backhand flip down the line, catching the edge, taking a page out of Brother Adam's book, really there.
That net ball went long, but Han, you can really see Judy's intent to keep that slow pace, that heavy topspin going even from the backcourt. It's very difficult to slow the ball down when it's coming so fast at you.
Great recovery from Judy, a real strong stick block from Erica Wu. Judy able to take that ball and turn it into an aggressive attack. Still 2 game points for Erica Wu to level the match. Just a little bit passive there on that block. Judy really giving her not a particularly heavy spin ball.
Seems like Erica's trying to go for such winners off the flip that by changing just to the backhand, she wasn't expecting it again. Wow, I want to give Erica credit for going for a deep serve and a little bit of an element of surprise, but Judy completely there, ready for the deep ball.
On that point, you saw really Erica Wu's a little bit lack of a weapon to finish the point after being in control.
Very well placed short ball. Looked like Judy had the shot she wanted, but she had to go to the center so much to get that backhand opening. Erica's beginning to find the angles that make it tough for Judy to open up with that super heavy backhand topspin. And it does it again with a nice push, and Erica's running away with that game, 12-10 to even up the match.
Sean, I think the real difference there was Erica's different intent when she was blocking and pushing. She was really adding a little bit of extra energy to those pushes and blocks to throw Judy's timing off.
Let's hear in with Barry and Judy.
She's got to make the decisions. She's got to come back all the time. She's going to be wondering. You know, you go to the same place. You just stand there and pop, 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 pop. You know, you take her out of that game. That's what you did the first game. That's what you did come back. Under the elbow, under the elbow. Okay? Then when she's out of position, you go. You're doing great. Keep spinning the ball. Keep spinning. Okay? Come on, you can do it.
No, Han, the advice that Barry, her father, gave her, I agree with it. You don't want to just go to one spot all the time, especially with a player like Erica with such fast hands. But if she could pinpoint just playing to Erica's elbow the whole time, it really takes a counter driver with fast hands, takes their strength out of the point. So let's see if Judy's able to employ those tactics, or if she comes up with some of her own.
And especially someone with the reach of Erica, you really need to follow that elbow, and it's not the middle of the table you want to follow. You want to follow the movements of the opponent, and you want to pinpoint that elbow wherever they move. You want to get it right into their body.
Because I think going cross court and just changing the side of the table would be playing into Erica's strength.
And Erica needs to do more of what she did last game, which is on her pushes and blocks, really be more active. Put more energy into the ball to throw Judy's timing off, not just play passively. They're attempting to do just that, the ball just hitting the top of the net, but we saw in our match against Shirley Fu how Erica was able to get on top of balls like that and really put a lot of pace on the ball.
Now, as a counter driver who wants to get into this fast hand-to-hand combat, the more Erica can flip Judy's serve, the easier it's going to be for her to bang the next ball. Whereas Judy really wants to slow it down. But this is a fight right now. You see both players not taking a step back, but putting all their energy moving forward.
Judy needs to not get caught in this sort of trap of playing to the corners of the table and also standing a little bit close to the table. She wants to slow the tempo down of these rallies. This is surprising. Judy now several times having trouble with Erica's push, really. She needs to just take her time and just heavy topspin that first ball.
Really feel that by her opening up so deliberately cross court, it's giving Erica a chance to play clean counter drives without forcing her to move her feet before she plays that ball. Could be a mistake.
Sean, I think one thing that's hurting Judy is against the younger players. She's used to having in the junior ranks dominated backhand to backhand against a lot of players with that heavy topspin. But a lot of these younger players just have such strong backhand to backhand play that she's not able to get that same advantage with that particular pattern.
And it's much easier said than done, but once a person counters so fast at you, you have to shorten your stroke, thus losing a lot of that heavy topspin that she's trying to put on it.
Great rallying there from Erica Wu.
Erica not backing up a step. It looked like Judy had the upper hand in that, but to Erica's credit, just constant pressure, and again, very strong on the wings, especially with wide angles.
Love that block from Erica Wu. Really using your pace and then putting a little bit of extra pace on the ball. Almost like Tai Chi or something like that. Just absolutely masterful defensive play so far this competition.
There's a nice redirection from the backhand. Han, you'd mentioned earlier in the competition how Erica likes to play off of the pace of the opponent. That's one of her strengths and how she generates some of her own power. Very wise, deep push. Again, against a counter driver, you don't necessarily have to make an opening every time to get the upper hand. Sometimes just getting them off balance with depth in your push or the amount of spin on the ball.
Then turning defense into attack. Judy still persisting to go to the corners. Erica Wu very rangy in that respect. Able to cover the entire table.
There's that strong wrist on the backhand loop. It's amazing how both Judy and brother Adam have such strong backhand opening loops. I guess playing against Mom Lily with pips, you got to learn how to develop that, otherwise you'll not get into any points. Again, excellent range by Erica Wu, really covering the entire table and not passively blocking on the forehand, but putting pressure behind it, which is really surprising Judy because she thinks she's going to get an easy ball, and all of a sudden here comes a stronger block.
Judy returning the favor there, hitting the edge of the table. Erica hitting the edge of the table on the point previously. But Erica Wu still with 2 game points in this third game.
Very nice opening there by Judy. Generally, she's been opening more to the backhand side. That ball just clips the top of the net. Looked like the exact shot that Judy wanted, but unable to connect with the table. And after winning the first game a bit comfortably, Erica takes the last 2 games by 2 points.
She can't cut over to the wide backhand, right? She 1, 2, 3, you bring over here, and then you go to the wide backhand after that, right? With spin. Doesn't have to just be on the table with spin. Let her just run over there and try to make it, right? Everything is good right now. You keep making that spin. Go with that spin. You make the first ball wide. You make the first ball wide to the forehand. You go next ball. You go wide to the backhand. You don't have to do much. Just go, and then you can go back to the middle again. All right. Keep working on that middle, and then you open up the court on either end. All right. You're doing great. You're doing great. Okay. You're doing great. All right. She's serving with the forehand, right? She's serving to forehand, right? You can push short, or you can push to the middle forehand, because she's ready to take backhand loop, right? So you can be pushed wide forehand. She's going to go slow. You can block wide to her backhand. Okay? Make her move.
You know, Han, it's such a treat for all of the coaches and wannabe coaches to be able to hear what's going on in between games, between competition at this level for an Olympic tryouts, to hear what not only a coach but a father would say to his daughter in this situation. Very definitely clear on his intentions on what he thinks Judy needs to do.
And the tactics, but also you can hear the encouragement, very important at this stage of the competition. I've been very impressed with Erica's defense so far this competition. We've seen Timothy Long do similar things on the men's side, using his blocking game to move opponents out of position.
Really seems to be a trend. Right now for the players, not only to have the strong topspin on both the forehand and backhand, but to have a block that can win the points also. Erica has certainly added that dimension to her game.
More and more players aren't viewing the block as simply a passive shot. Of course, there are many types of blocks, and Erica really wins a lot of points off those more active blocks where she almost puts a little bit of topspin on the ball when she comes over it.
Very strong play by Judy. Judy can use some of this pace to allow her to get her topspin in to change the timing. Could cause some problems for Erica. Problem is Erica's also forcing some offensive openings, which makes Judy have to be a little bit more at bay and not go for too much. Erica's forehand block has been very stable, really not taking any risks or having any difficulty.
The thing she does really well is she uses her body on that forehand block rather than just reaching with her arm, which is what a lot of players do, which is a big mistake, Sean. You really want to take your whole body and use the rotation much like any other forehand stroke.
Definitely allows you to keep that angle more secure throughout the stroke. Now with Erica, we say that she doesn't have that powerful shot, but she does do a really nice job at all the little things. The flip has a little bit more pace, the block has a little bit more pace, the consistency is always high.
And a smart player there, she made an adjustment after a couple of flip kills that Judy's returned. She took a little bit off, went to the middle of the table and set up the rest of the point.
Judy got a critical point with that last loop. I was thinking that Judy's team might be looking to a timeout, because if you start getting that far behind early on, it's tough to really change the momentum.
Strong forehand attack by Erica, and Judy does not want to see this happening. She can't afford to have Erica gaining confidence by winning points off of attack as well as defense.
Erica just doing an amazing job at dealing with that slower opening with a ton of spin. She's taking a little step closer to the table and really blocking through the ball versus just letting it bounce off the racket.
And this is really a case of Judy not able to find the elbow. Erica's anticipating that the ball's going to go to the middle of the table, and she's turning early actually to take it with her forehand off the bounce. Judy needs to realize that.
Looks like she's trying to get there, but as we talk about the elbow, that is a dynamic location. It's going to constantly be moving left and right, and you have to be able to pinpoint where you think the player is going to pivot and then aim there. So Judy's in the right location. She just needs to be a little bit more precise. This is exactly what Erica has done in the past and wants to continue to do, is be in control of the tempo, open up on her own occasion, and put a lot of pressure on Judy to the corners. Beautiful flip there by Erica to take a very commanding 3-1 lead in this best-of-7 match.
She's definitely made an adjustment, Sean. That's 2 straight flips that she's taken a little bit of pace off, went to really Judy's middle, and set up the rest of the point. Very precise in her placement.
Seems one thing that Erica has done, which is a very high-level tactic, is to control the depth of the ball, especially against a looper who's trying to put a lot of topspin on the ball. Sometimes her flips are deep, sometimes they're a little bit shallow, sometimes her pushes are catching Judy flat-footed. Let's see what Judy and Barry have to say.
You're doing okay. You got to be looking for that spin, driving, heavy top spin. Okay, every time. She just ties her right up, and you can do it. You can do it, right? You see your ball that you have to push. You can put deep into her middle wide backhand. Let's see what she can do with it. Okay, you use your brain, man. You can do it. You fight hard. Use spin.
So a lot of words of encouragement from Father Barry. Judy has been in this situation before, so we can expect a very strong charge in this final set of games right now, but Erica is controlling the action. She's playing on her tempo and on her terms.
Erica's been dealing with Judy's spin better and better as this match progresses. Sometimes, as a player or as a coach, you just run out of ideas when the opponent is dealing with their best shot so well. Judy really needs to change something here. She really needs to change the tempo, mix up the rhythm to throw Erica off her game.
It's a credit to the tactics that Erica has. I know her coach, Cary, is definitely aware of Judy's strengths and weaknesses and has put together a tremendous game plan in this most important match at the Olympic tryouts.
It's a big miss there from Judy. Had the opportunity to open this game with a 3-0 advantage. Just missing a loose ball there. Still up 2-1.
Very, very strong play by Judy. Actually, I think playing into Erica's strengths a little bit, even though she was the one dictating. That's the type of ball that Erica loves to play. The cross-court angles.
Judy doing better there, able to put a little bit more topspin on her shots in the rally. But playing against a player like Erica can be so difficult because you feel like you're in control, you feel like you're dictating, when in reality, you're playing a little bit into the opponent's strengths.
Very strong backhand opening. And I wonder, Han, if while we definitely think it'd be nice for Judy to play maybe more straight balls or into Erica's elbow, if she's feeling pressure and a lack of time, and by going cross-court, she just extends that rally a little bit easier for her to keep the ball going.
Great topspin there for Judy, and there's brother Adam finishing his placement match, and now obviously pulling for his sister Judy. Adam, of course, being defeated by Michael Landers in his placement match, 4-1.
I know prior to the match, Adam was contemplating whether he should even play the match so he could be in Judy's corner and give her every ounce of support he could muster as a brother. Very well-placed attacks by Erica. Judy going for a bit of a deep push there. Good idea, but not executed to the degree she wanted.
It's a couple of loose balls so far this game from Judy.
Again, it seems anytime Erica can open up, and here we have a timeout with the lead, which I think is a very wise decision, not letting Erica pull back to even, but clearly to stop this trend from occurring and to get the pressure back on her side of the table.
Right now you're a little bit stepping a little bit slow. You've got to be same as the beginning of the game, ready to move forward to that ball, driving the ball. Look for that opportunity. She leans one way, then you get her, then you go back the other way. You keep making her move because she can't recover. Okay? You're doing great. Let's go. Keep going. Come on.
Again, a lot of words of encouragement from Father Barry. It's got to be extremely difficult to be coaching one of your own sons or daughters in the finals of this importance. I don't think I could really even watch the match. Excellent play by Erica, really becoming the aggressor through these last few games off the serve return. Very nice flip by Erica, but Judy has had no difficulty dealing with the over-the-table offense from Erica. Always ready to come back with a strong return.
And again, Erica just with a heavy, heavy push. The bounce of that ball is giving Judy a lot of trouble. Those loose balls, she can't afford to have those at this stage. Erica playing that very well. Judy putting her under pressure. Just eases those blocks back on the table, playing very, very safe. Judy finally missing into the net. Erica now up 9-8 as well as 3 games to 1.
Very strong top spin in the middle of that countering rally. That's exactly what Judy needs to do, is to get out of this fast counters. Make Erica change her own timing. And Judy extends it. Very strong play the last 3 points of the game.
Erica really got passive on those last 2 points, trying to play a little bit too safe.
You're in trouble, just make that shot and then ball next one, heavy spin. You can either go to the white forehand or you go to the white backhand again, right? The only place she's playing now is trying to play in your middle. So you just take your time and you step and you spin it up to her middle, because you can't do anything with it, right? Anytime you have the trouble, you can just spin it up, you know, to the middle with good spin. Let her try to do something with it, right? That's the only place you can try to do from here. Everything else, you got to spin. You got to spin. Backhand, forehand, middle, wide, middle. And it depends where you are, you go to the difficult portion. Okay? You look for that off-balance play. You're doing great. You got to be the aggressor. Okay? You got to take that shot. You got to be moving forward the ball. Take that first spin. You can let the ball drop, and you can still take the spin. You don't have to rush it, right? You're doing great. Okay? Come on, you can do it. Come on,
Close and personal. Get to know your neighbor and make room for more spectators. Thank you very much.
Han, you know, the one thing that Father Barry mentioned was heavy spin. He kept saying you've got to put heavy spin on the ball, and I think he's really right on the mark. If Judy can slow down the pace, the question is, where should she be doing this heavy spin to?
Credit to Barry for seeing what's working in the previous game, but I really think she needs to go really to Erica's elbow area, and maybe even balls that are a little bit higher up in Erica's forehand zone. She seems to have a lot of trouble with that, being a little bit tentative with those blocks towards the end of the game.
Erica with tremendous patience and balance off the table. Even though she was back, she looked like she was in total control during that blocking rally.
For a player as quick and as good close to the table as Erica is, she definitely has shown a lot of improvement when she's off the table, especially with that forehand. It's something that'd be interesting to see if she develops that further.
Nice combination there, where Judy started in the middle and then took it wide out with the backhand.
Continued pressure from Erica Woobs. 4 very, very strong forehand loops in succession. The last one placed just out of Judy's reach, forcing the error.
Just a little bit slow to that ball. Judy needs to get in and close to the table a bit faster if she's going to spin that ball up. You can't be reaching for a loop against underspin. Expect to be able to brush it.
That's
such
really
a fine motion.
Really an unforced error at this level of play.
No, Han, I think the error is due to that constant pressure from Erica. Just every single point, whether she's counterattacking or opening, she's not giving Judy really much chance to breathe.
Erica's forehand has been impressive so far this game. Of course, she played Chris Hugh earlier in the tournament. Again, just very strong spinning from Erica, surprising. I guess playing a defensive player in the tournament will give you that confidence in your attacks.
Well, clearly getting the upper hand in these fast-paced attacks that Judy's giving her, Erica's had no problem covering the ball and moving forward. You know, Judy's push there had a lot of pace on it, and Erica had no difficulty lifting it up because there wasn't much spin.
Adam still pulling hard, trying to will his sister Judy into a comeback in this game.
Very strong play. That ball touched the top of the net, but clearly Erica with very powerful and decisive power on her forehand side.
In this situation, it's big that Erica still has her timeout left to use in this match if Judy makes a little bit of a run.
Excellent play by Erica. Both players choosing to go to each other's elbow position on those counters. Finally, Judy taking it out to the forehand. Erica completely ready to sustain the attack. Erica's father's watching on. Beautiful. Wow, we haven't seen that power from Erica all tournament. She can taste the victory right now. And Erica has done it. She has positioned herself to be in the third position if Lily Zhang is able to win the final match. That would create a team event for Team USA, and Erica Wu would qualify to make her way to London.